Melissa.
She's doing work as well as homework,
Mm,
and she's doing kids' homework.
mm.
But I have
Um,
I have you two amazing people, so that's why I definitely want to do this with y'all two. But y'all are a hot couple that can help break the truth. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BMT Black Male Talk. Of course, this is the Black Male Talk Unfiltered channel. This is not the main channel, but we're gonna re-upload it and put it on the real channel so that way you can hear it. I have an amazing star-studded panel: a father, a mother, and two amazing people that I have in my life to actually get to do this show with y'all. Who other than Mel, aka Gunslinger, aka Warlock, aka Father of the Year, aka Bad Boy, aka damn, he got too many AKs. I'm not giving him more AKs. But we also have Nesha, an amazing mother. I think she does mother, beauty stylist, cosmetologist, specialist in makeup and design. I don't know how they do all that stuff. Heck, they better at editing videos than me. But I like to just think of them as my two friends. So much so that I brought them here to talk about something that was pretty interesting and serious that I think we overlook. Postpartum, mainly with our women. Something that gets overlooked and doesn't get talked about enough. But Nesha agreed to come on here alongside with her husband and talk about it and help us understand that this is something very serious that happens to women. And if we don't start taking more of a closer look, we're going to keep on having issues. I think this is something that we probably need to pay attention to, not just the females, but the men also. So I'm going to pass it over to Mel and Nesha and let them take it over here because they'll be running the show for a while. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to BMT Unfiltered, now being co-hosted by Nesha and Mel. Well,
uh,
that is the intro. You guys, how y'all two
I
feeling?
don't know where to start.
Really? You had like a whole, like y'all had a whole 2 minutes. How y'all two feeling? How y'all two feeling?
Great.
Mel, I
I
hate you.
gotta
You're
put
like so
some.
one syllable word. I need to get more out of you. Um,
That's me. I'm simple, man.
He's
oh, don't do
silent
that.
but
Don't.
deadly.
All right, you two. So
Okay.
here y'all are, y'all two productive parents. Y'all have two beautiful children. What are their names?
Melanie and MJ. Well, Mel Jr.
Mel Jr. Okay, Mel Jr. and also Melody. How does it feel being parents? First off,
It's a whole, like, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's a whole different ball game. Because you go from being all about you, and then it's like, okay, it's about you and then your spouse, and then all of a sudden now you have two little people who just don't. How do I want to say this? They don't give a fuck about what you want, basically.
mm.
They care about what they need. Oh, I need my diaper changed. I need a nap. I need to sleep. I need this. I need that. I can't fit my clothes no more. They don't care about nothing about what you got on. They don't care about what bills you need to pay. They don't care that you need a nap because you've been at work since 5. They don't care.
Mhm.
Whereas, your spouse is like, oh, okay, my wife tired. Let me take the kids and give her a nap. No, kids just don't. They have no filter and zero fucks.
Hmm. And for you, Mel, about being a father, what's going on for you?
I love it. They love me.
He's the favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's the favorite,
I'm the
Yeah.
not Mama.
oh, they listen, but I'm also the strict one.
I don't see how. I swear I pop more than you do.
Mm. Well, I think to me, whenever I get to see it, a lot of fathers, we kind of just let Mama do her thing, but the child more so has a curiosity of the father because he's more off to himself, doing his own thing. So the child's gonna be more like, well, I always see mama, but that guy over there, he's curious because of the things that what I'm saying he's doing. So naturally, they're gonna go around. Yeah, moms have that bond, but daddies have that type of silverback gorilla where you always see the others come around him. The other herd will come around him because of that power and sheer dominance he has in the house. So it's natural that they feel more of a blanket of security around him. Not saying that mothers don't have that, but um, children go to mothers for nurturing. You know what I'm saying? Fathers they go to for that security of how far can I go? And any father, if he sees a child going out too far, he'll pull the child. He'll grab the child by the leg and pull him right back. Come on back here. Stay close to me. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what I'm saying. But he'll let the child go out and say, "Well, time for you to go out and feel." So it's always been that type of intricacy. I love and encourage two family household, two parent households. You know what I'm saying? I rather see two parents in the home, namely a male and a female. If y'all don't like me saying that, then you can kiss my black ass. But I like seeing a male and a female in the household, especially two who care about themselves. Um, do y'all feel like in the climate that y'all are going in right now that um, the ideologies of what y'all display as a loving couple, do y'all feel like it gets seen enough or it doesn't get showcased enough?
You gonna say something, babe?
Well, when he asked me that, I just started thinking. I mean, honestly, in our community, no, it
Mm,
doesn't get showcased enough. Because in the black community, you always see a lot of single mothers.
mhm.
So, no.
Okay, all right.
Can't
I'm,
argue
I'm,
with that.
and what about for you, Nisha? As a mother, a married mother in the home, do you feel like it sometimes is a path that not a lot of women walk, or what's your take on that?
Well, from my life experience, I actually grew up in a family predominantly women. So all the women in my life, mothers, grandmother, great grandmother, I've grown up seeing them do it on their own. So
Mm, okay.
we don't really have a lot of men in my family. I mean, I have two uncles, but one uncle's over in North Carolina, and then one uncle who's here. But I mean, my uncle here is not really married. He's never been married. So the only married uncle I have is like in a different state, and I don't see him.
Okay.
So it's like I've literally only ever seen black women doing the damn thing. Like that's it.
Okay.
Working two and three jobs, going to school, still taking care of the kids, doing whatever they need to do, taking care of their parents. Like that's what I've seen growing up. I've never lived in a two parent household.
Okay. And was it the same thing for you, Mel, or no?
Well, my mom got married when I was young.
Hmm.
So, until recently. So, yeah, I grew up with a stepdad in the picture, but, you know.
Okay. All right. But y'all do very well. I can at least say, from the time that I know y'all or what I see, y'all communicate a lot. Y'all grind hard, but y'all two are always working. Y'all do activities together with the kids. And y'all young. And I see that y'all have y'all life fully ahead of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more for children being showered with love and having the parents back them up and support them, and teach them and raise them the best way they can. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
Mhm.
that doesn't get pushed enough. Um, but we're on to a topic that it gets overlooked, and I,
Overlooked, ignored.
yep, it does. And I feel like this is probably a question I always get asked is why do black women act crazy? Why do they do the things that they do? And we always say we don't know. But it's no secret that a lot of black women have multiple children. They have multiple children for the most case, and balancing children, work, life, and themselves is a task because not everybody has a male in their corner. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I asked myself because I remember you were talking with an associate of ours on last night. I mean the night before,
Mhm.
and you were very adamant talking about sex doesn't fix everything.
Right.
It's there's more to just bending over. Like if a woman has a child, sometimes she don't feel herself. Could you go into depth on what were you meaning by that after a woman has a child, or I'm saying, what did you mean by that? Like she's not herself. How is she not herself anymore?
Well, I mean, it technically starts during the pregnancy.
Right.
I mean, if you think about it, like once we find out that we're pregnant, like our mind, well, any actual like decent mother, our mind stops thinking about ourselves and everything is, I need to do this for the baby. I need to do this for the baby. Like we know if anything happens to us, something happens to that baby. So our concern is no longer really ourselves, is to make sure that we can carry this life and bring them into the world, if that makes sense.
Right.
So it's like from the moment you find out you're carrying another life, like you're not you anymore. Your body is no longer yours. You're property to someone else. Like you're
Mm.
the home of someone else for 9, 10, whatever months people say you're pregnant for. And then when you get to the end of that journey, you have to like actually start thinking, okay, I'm about to bring this life into the world. So not only is my body not mine, yeah, I get my body back, but at the same time, I've had these hormones raging for the past 9 months. Like everything is getting to me. And then sometimes you're just like, how is this going to work after I have a kid if I can't get control of myself now? And then I add a small person into the picture who literally can't fend for themselves. So, yeah, they're out of you, but at the same time, your mindset is baby, 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 baby. You are no longer you. You're a mom first and foremost. Like you don't matter, honestly.
Right.
I mean, well, like I said, any decent parent, some parents out there don't feel that way, which I mean, sometimes it just depends on the situation. But as far as like having that feeling of like I created this life, this is a part of me, I need to protect at all costs. Not everyone gets that right away, whereas mothers, especially black mothers, our instincts kick in from the moment, like I said, the moment I found out I was pregnant, it was, oh, I'm not speeding, I'm not eating this, I'm not drinking that, I'm staying away from this. Like, just because I know I needed to protect myself and protect the child that I'm carrying. So, your whole mindset, not to mention your body itself, goes through hell literally for 9 months. It's like, oh, it's a beautiful experience, but people don't tell you about the shit that comes with it. Everyone's like, oh, it's not that bad. And oh, the only thing you have to worry about is labor. They don't tell you that some days when you wake up, you literally just don't feel like getting up. You're not motivated to do anything. And then some days you just cry because you don't even know why you crying. You just sitting there crying. You breathed and then you cried. Like that was about it. And so your husband's sitting there looking at you like, what the hell is wrong with this woman? Like, what's wrong with her? She was happy 2 seconds ago. But you literally cannot explain as to why you are crying. You have no reason to cry whatsoever. You have everything in the world to be happy for. You're married, you have a baby on the way, you're in good health, but you will sit there and cry. And it's like, oh, okay then. So then you end up having the baby, and your body is no longer the same because you've had all your internal organs switched around to make room for this growing person. So, and then depending on how you have your child, some women are lucky enough to have vaginal births. I prayed for a vaginal birth. I ended up having an emergency C-section with my daughter. Most cases, once you have a C-section for your first child, no doctor will let you have a vaginal birth. They won't risk it. So you're stuck getting C-sections no matter how many children you have. So I've had 2 C-sections in less than a year. And my body has, like, it took a toll. Like, I would have random pains, and there would be days where everything hurt and I couldn't do anything. So my husband had to pick up the slack because I was just like, babe, I'm not feeling well. Like, I'm hurting. Like, I can't bend over to pick up my son to feed him. Like, nothing. So once you go through all of that, it's kind of like you struggle a lot more than you did before. Before having babies, I was carefree. I could do anything I wanted to. I could go anywhere I wanted. I didn't have anyone but myself and my husband to worry about. But I mean, at the same time, he's a grown man. So technically, he can take care of me. But then I have 2 babies that literally can't do anything. They need us for everything.
Right.
So now, like like you said, we work, but instead of us being like, oh, okay, we got paid, let's go out and have fun like we did when it was just us, we have to sit down and make a list of, okay, do the babies need anything? That's first and foremost. And
Mhm.
then you go to your bills, and then depending on if anything is left, we're like, well, we could go out, or we could just save this money up in case something comes up for the babies, which usually happens. So it's like you're sitting there, you went from going out every weekend, oh, spending money on shoes, like my husband was saying earlier, we going shopping for ourselves. Now all of that money goes towards them. Like, there is no adult, there is no, oh, I'm gonna spend this on me because I worked for it. Our money is all for them. Everything is all for them. There is no us anymore, basically.
Right. I want to ask Mel, and shout out to everyone who's coming into the chat. If you're coming on in, share the video, respect the video. I'm just sitting here vibing, listening to Nisha. She's giving a heartfelt viewpoint, and yes, I agree. SKC, she is seen as one of the black female elites because you don't hear a lot of women talk with this type of impact, especially at a young age. So, you know, the fact that she's talking like that, you know what I'm saying, that means that she has a good head on her shoulder. I agree. Um, I want to pull it over to Mel. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to also know what the head of the household, his portion. Now, Mel, you know, as a father, um, what's your insight on a lot of these things?
As far as the
As far as
whole,
it go, yeah, yes, because I'm pretty sure you started seeing some differences, um, with your wife, you know, and how did you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, but it's not like there's a book where, or like a class where men are like, hey, be mindful. But I know men, we don't, especially black men, we don't actually talk about postpartum amongst each other when dealing with our women. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a normal conversation that comes up.
Mhm.
So how would it for you? You know what I'm saying? As if you were talking to a future brother or your son, how did you handle it? I mean, you getting, you know what I'm saying, but dealing with that. Go ahead,
Well,
brother.
initially, it was, it was all new to me because, like I said, we're newlyweds. So me dealing with somebody's attitude the way it was,
Hmm.
I didn't want to deal with it per se. So I kind of like lashed out back. You know, it caused arguments over, when it's something she can't really control. But over time, I just realized, patience and, just being a holder, or whether it's to pick up slack where she can't, whether it's the fact that she was dealing with depression, the postpartum, dealing with the baby, changing a diaper, making sure she, her stitches were clean, just simple
Wow.
stuff like just, you know, over time helping out with it.
I would say, and I mean, I
But
commend you. I really
patience is
do.
the main,
Go
the
ahead.
main.
Can you hear?
You cutting out, babe.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
You was talking about after you said cleaning the stitches and the mane, and then it
Oh,
went.
patience was the main thing I learned how to, deal with trying to deal with the postpartum and depression.
Right. Now, when it comes to, do you feel, and I'm asking you both, do you feel that black people, we realistically talk about mental health, especially in a family setting?
No,
No, it's like it's taboo.
yeah, it's kind of frowned upon.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know about most, but I grew up with my elders telling me what goes on in this house stays in this house.
Wow.
So it's like you got issues going on, but at the same time, it's kind of just like it's not talked about. It's like, okay, well, you have an attitude, oh, because you're a teenager. Like, no, sometimes I wake up with an attitude. I have no reason as to why. Like, I went to, I want to say what, two or three counselors as a teenager because I was rebelling and no one could actually figure out why. And everyone always thought, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. And I could never give like a definitive answer. And in reality, like some days I would just wake up and be a bitch. It had nothing to do with me being a teenager, it had nothing to do with school, nothing. I just wake up and I wanted everybody to get the hell out of my face. I didn't want anyone talking to me, don't touch me, nothing. Like I would just stay shut up in my room. Like I didn't need to deal with anybody. And everyone saw it as, oh, something's wrong with her. Like, why does she have an attitude? I didn't do anything to you. It's not that you did anything to me. It's not that anyone did anything to me. I literally woke up and decided I didn't want to deal with y'all today. That was it. And no one could figure out why until I ended up growing up. Oh, I just got a phone call. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
If she drops out, we can always pull her back in. Just let her know we can always pull her back in.
I can't hear anything.
Just tell her to back out, and then we'll pull it right back in.
Okay.
Now, Mel, can you hear me? I think you
Yeah,
can. Okay, but I know Nisha's coming back on. So I'll swing it over to you as a the black father and head of your household. How are you, or how did you have to readjust, knowing that what I'm saying, that this is my wife, but I'm also now we're dealing with this now. We're on dealing with mental health. What I'm saying, this is something she can't control. You know, what did that spur you on to do, or how to handle it? I got her.
it just I had to deal with my mental state really, like maturing, because if I wasn't mature enough, I would have never stayed in that setting, even because like fathers, when all those different mood swings come into play,
Right.
they they don't know what to do with it. They find some way to get out of that marriage or relationship, whatever they're in, because of their spouse inability to control what is actually going on.
I agree. Um, a lot of dudes, for what I can say before I pass back to Nisha, a lot of black people don't properly deal with mental health properly, or get it treated properly, either with drinking, fucking, drugs. I'm not judging you if you want to do prayer, but we do talk about pray it away. Have y'all two ever heard just pray it away? Just pray about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure they told y'all just to pray it away. All right, so I know I'm not the only one who was told that. So let me pull this up because I want to do this for you too. But I feel like this is also a perfect time. Postpartum depression, just like Nisha was saying. I'm not sure she even read this, but maybe she did. Postpartum depression in Black women is a silent epidemic. Black women are at a higher risk for mental health issues postpartum birth. No, health issues post birth, and less likely to get the help they need. So shout out to Nisha. It is true. Um, a lot of Black women. Um, have you ever heard of sometimes mental health is genetically passed on to the child?
Yes.
You heard? Have you ever heard of that too, Mel?
Yeah.
So it's likely, not saying God forbid that this happens to your daughter Melody, but this could pop up. I'm willing to, in other words, I'm saying like somebody other than Nisha and your family, Nisha, has postpartum.
I'm pretty sure my mother was depressed.
Right. And the thing about it is, people probably would never go get help. And
No,
you being
she
the
turned
first
to
one of
drugs.
many, right? You know what I'm saying? You being the first one of many, you possibly, if something were to be happening to your daughter, you might, or Mel even, are going to probably pick up on it. Y'all get what I'm
Right.
saying? So y'all
I
would pick up.
decided when I
Yeah,
had
go
my
ahead.
daughter, when I found out I was pregnant with a little girl, I decided I was going to break that cycle. I wasn't going to have
Very
a
good.
repeat because my mother never dealt with her issues and she ended up dying at the age of 32.
Wow.
Right. So growing up without a mom, I was like, oh, hell no. And then I ended up having my own daughter and I was like, I can't put her through what I went through.
Mm. Um. In the
So,
article, in the article, I wanted to say that in the article, when Aima Bates, 31, realized she had lost control over her pelvic and gluteal muscles shortly after giving birth, she felt profoundly disconnected from her body. I woke up and I couldn't move them. She says they were incomplete paralysis. I panicked, adjusting to dramatic physical changes as soon after birth triggered feelings of ineptitude. Excuse me. Ugh, that's a new word I got to use. For Bates, and catalyzed the onset of postpartum depression. I began crying, blaming myself for having a natural vaginal birth. She recalls, I thought my body failed me. I felt completely inadequate. I remember looking at my son and thinking he should have a better mother than me. Um, wow. This so um, I'm gonna tell you right now. Majority
I know a lot of women possibly tell you that they had a good birth, but I want you to understand
That's a lie.
that's a lie. I know they tell the masses outside of the delivery room. Now, the only people who possibly know is the mother and the father, or whoever's in that room. 9 times out of 10, that doctor said you had a healthy baby. However, we're gonna give it's time to let you know you have gestational diabetes, or this probably is not gonna be functional for a while until it comes back. Am I lying? Am I off on what I'm saying, Nisha? Or
No,
for the
that
most part?
shit is traumatic. Like, it's traumatic as hell. Like,
So they
literally,
do let y'all know,
childbirth
hey,
is life threatening. You
right,
put your life on the line when you decide, oh, I'm going to give birth to my child. People don't understand that, especially among black women. The fatality rate among black women giving child, like having childbirth or right after the next 3 days, is so significantly higher than any other race. It's ridiculous.
right. I think I had to talk to a friend of mine because he's a horn dog, and he was like, I can't wait till my wife's stitches heal up because then we can, get back to smashing. I said, and his mother started screaming. I'm like, didn't you just know your wife died on the table, and they brought her back?
He's an asshole.
And he was like, I know, she's fine, and I mean, I love her, and I just want her to come home with me. I'm like, my dog, I don't think she's
Having sex with him is the last thing on her mind.
right. I mean, when somebody hey, being dead for 10 seconds, I don't, don't. I'm not shooting that like that's like some little beat, but to be brought back and what I'm saying, and saying that I can't wait to fuck, maybe it just wasn't the proper joke for the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think for the most part, it took her about a good 3 weeks before she wanted to touch the baby.
Yeah, that
She
shit's
just didn't
traumatic.
want to touch the baby. Now I'm gonna push it over to y'all too. When Nisha is down for the count, what systems do y'all set up for dealing with this? Because we're reading right here how this mother talked about, she felt like she failed her child for something that she had no control of. What happens? What do y'all feel like? Sometimes when Nisha goes into that reset mode, uh, okay, I can't do nothing. I'm no good to y'all for right now. Anybody? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's up to y'all if y'all want to answer it. If not, I can skip over that. I'm just curious, like,
Well,
I,
in reality, having our family as a support system
good.
has helped a lot. Um, his mom, when she does come down to visit, and I'm having, I call it an episode. Usually, she'll take care of the babies all day, and I'll just stay in bed. Like, I won't. At that point, I'm like mentally and emotionally and physically, like, I'm just checked out.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll usually take care of them, or I have an aunt and cousins who are down the street from us.
Mm-hmm.
So if I feel myself getting like that, and I know Mel is at work, or like he needs to go to work soon, whatever the case is, then I'll call my lifeline, I guess you could say.
What
And
lifeline? What's a lifeline for that?
basically, when my husband, like, he has to take care of the family, so when he has to go to work, I don't need him calling out to work anytime I randomly just shut down. So I'll call the first person I can think of, which is my aunt. And
Right.
because I know at any point in time she will stop what she's doing and she'll come and get our kids because she loves them. And at like now at this point, she understands. Okay, Nisha can't handle this right now, so let me step in. Let me get them out the house. You stay by yourself. Like you go lay down, take a nap, whatever the case is. So she'll take them and she'll take care of them. And I know, okay, they're safe. I'm not going to have a nervous breakdown now because I can't handle the situation. Because even when I get in that state, like they're babies, they don't understand, okay, something's wrong with mommy. So if they start crying or fussing, like I have to keep myself away from them so I don't snap.
Wow. Okay. Mel. Um, because Nisha, um, she laid out a lot, and I I knew y'all had a system, but I never knew it was at that type of extent. Like y'all are way ahead of the game than older people. You know what I'm saying, brother? And to know that y'all are thinking on that type of scale of a level is very amazing. Um, is it Mel? Who do you I'm not saying if you do, but do you have other males or other men that you talk to, or you just like I just deal with it? Like when it comes to the family and your wife and stuff, do you just deal with it yourself, or you got to have somebody for you to keep you anchored on the path, or you just what I just deal with this is just my job.
I usually just deal with it.
Right, right. Much respect. You know.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like how we stated earlier, most Black people don't talk about mental health in general.
Right.
So it's like, who would he really talk to about it? You know? Because if other Black people don't talk amongst themselves in their marriages, then how is he going to find someone that's actually going to understand what he's talking about and not think that he's crazy?
No, no, no. That's true.
Because
Um,
some Black men will be like, well, why the hell are you dealing with that? Like, just leave her. Like, it's not that simple. Like, you love this person, you have a family with this person, you've dedicated the rest of your life to this person, and she's going through something, and you're trying to talk to a man who either has never been married, who doesn't have kids, or who simply is just like, he doesn't understand that Black women or women in general go through this, then he's not going to be able to fully grasp the concept. He's going to give you his answer on, well, it sounds like you dealing with somebody who just crazy. Why would you want to stay and deal with that? Like, y'all can co-parent, but you don't have to stay together. That's not that's not the right advice, honestly, which is why a lot of Black women end up becoming single parents, because Black men in their lives are getting advice from people who don't know what the fuck they talking about, and they follow that advice, and then you wonder why you got a crazy ass baby mama, and you don't understand why she blow up at you or why she wants you to come and get your kid half the time. Like it's a
no,
lot
I
deeper
I
than, oh, she
never
crazy.
thought of that. I'm not gonna lie, Nisha. I'm not trying to cut you off. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah,
I never would have thought of it on that scale. That maybe this might be a reason why a lot of the baby mamas are crazy. We see a lot of this stuff on the news, and what you're saying, it kind of could connect in a sense because if the woman has some type of postpartum mental health and is not really getting assessed or taken care of, and she don't got support, you know what I'm saying? It's liable to unravel or happen. So I can get exactly what you're saying. Like keep going. You cooking.
yeah. So I mean, like I said, that's just my opinion, but I don't think, since a lot of people don't talk about it, a lot of people don't fully grasp, like, who's gonna actually just sit and read an article on postpartum depression if it's never affected you technically. So it's like you never know. You like it's like you don't even know something like that exists. If that makes sense, like people are always talking about, oh well, this person went to school and shot up everybody because they were depressed. No, that's you being a homicidal maniac. Okay, when you're depressed, you don't think about hurting other people. When you're depressed, you self hurt. So me being depressed doesn't mean I'm gonna go and freaking blow up a grocery store or whatever the case is. It means I'm probably sitting in my bed all day. I haven't showered. I haven't eaten. Like that's depressed. I'm not gonna go out and harm other people because I feel like I'm not worthy of something. If that makes sense.
No. You're on fire with that, and I mean, like I said, I mean, goddamn, Nisha, you dropping some pretty good jewels. Um, because you know what I'm saying. I think the thing about it is we all like. Listen, my mama got 4 kids, and Lord knows I done seen that woman break down and cry at random times, and she'll be. I'm just praying, but then again, I never asked her, "What did my mom have postpartum depression?" Or what is a lot of the women I do know have it, and but they don't have a brother to really help them or a support system. You know, some females will stay in an abusive situation because they're like, well, this is all I got. Because I know that I mean that's it. Or we know a lot of people who keep going back to back to back and keep popping out babies.
Right.
And now, what if I said, well, Nisha, you overthinking this stuff. You're just complaining because uh, I, I wanted to say in the article, we're looking at it today, thankfully, PPD, postpartum depression, is more widely addressed in pregnancy related discussions. But Black women, like myself, often struggle to find our place. Our
Right.
place in the dialogue. The Black community has a history of emphasizing personal strength and self-sufficiency, which can decrease the chance the Black woman seek assistance when their sadness becomes more than the baby blues.
Right.
Not only are Black women underserved, but they face an increased risk of mental health issues post birth. So that so that's saying before she's pregnant or has a child, she could already have a chance of having post birth issues.
Yes.
Mm.
That's what happened with me.
Okay. Now, that's very telling because I'm gonna pass it over to Mel because to some it'd be like, man, she just bitching. Or there she go again just nagging. How is it we're supposed to know or communicate if she shuts down? Like a younger guy, if I was Mel son, I'm like, Daddy, I ain't got time to hear that shit, man. Like, my girl, she just tripping, bro. Like, I'm out the door. You know what I'm saying? How am I supposed to know? Like, we don't know if she just complaining or, saying something legit. I would ask that
Well,
to, I'm going to throw it towards Mel.
at the time, I really didn't. I didn't know what I was dealing with. I just thought, literally, like I said, like I was saying at the time, I lashed out because I didn't know what I was dealing with. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think she knew what she was dealing with, but it was just, it was all new to both of us, especially being the fact that, you know, we really just started, like, how can I say this?
You good, bro?
Getting living together, you know, and being in the same the same space all the time. You know, you go from being by yourself, only worrying about yourself, to being married and only a few months later, oh, she's pregnant. And then when the postpartum kicked in early,
Antepartum.
huh?
I was diagnosed with antepartum depression before my postpartum.
Postpartum. When that came into play, I didn't know what was going on. I'm telling you, from dishes being thrown to
I
other,
threatened to cut up the couch. Like,
yeah,
I was
This-
about to take a butcher knife to the furniture and slice everything up.
Yeah, you definitely
It
be
was-
out my house.
it was just bad.
Oh,
But like it
I'm
was
just saying,
literally like I
that
would
ain't
go
normal. Somebody said they're
zero
gonna
to
cut off the
1,000
couch. Like,
on him.
yo, bro, it's time for you to go, demon. Get out. Go to your
But,
mama's
I
house.
mean,
And that's what I was on. That's what I was on.
right.
Just go and get out. You got time for all this. Well,
Like, yo, just take a break. Go to one of your family members' house. They don't live too far from here.
But sometimes that will make it worse though, because I just be like, I didn't want to be around people in general when I got like that. So then, like you said, we were just newly living together. So it's like now he in my space. Like if I want to get out and go get a cup of water, like he right there in the living room. Like I don't want to be around anybody. Like why are you here? So I would lash out at him because I didn't know how to deal with him being in my space when I was like that. But at the same time, like I literally could not articulate at the time how I was feeling. It was either I'm going to get mad and yell at him or I'm going to shut myself off and cry. There was no talking. Like there was no Nesha, just sit down and try and articulate your feelings, because deep down inside, I feel like I can say this to him now, but like back then, I would be like, I don't want him to think I'm crazy. I don't want anyone to think I'm crazy, if that makes sense.
no.
That's honestly why a lot of African Americans don't seek help, because they're like, oh, well, if I gotta talk to a therapist, then I must be crazy. If I gotta go on medication, then I'm crazy. And that's the kind of mindset I had. I was like, I don't want him to think I married a crazy ass female and I'm about to have a baby with her. Like I didn't want him to think that, but at the same time, my actions were saying something completely different. I couldn't articulate how I was feeling in that moment. I would have to wait for the episode to like completely pass, and when I felt like I was back to normal, then I would try and go talk to him. But at the but like it was like, okay, well, the damage is technically done, because when I needed to talk to him, I pushed him away. So now that I'm ready to go talk to him, he has his walls up.
Okay, so that's very telling, because you're saying that when it first happened, and I'm gonna read this. Blacks need to serve more black women. We waiting on help, but not from each other though. Till these black women/men doctors start serving each other, no change will come. Thank you, brother. Now, one of the things about it is you were saying that you were trying to hide it. Now, I try to tell people, listen, man, you never truly know somebody until you live with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all two agree on that? And
Yep.
because you don't, like Nisha was saying, it's not against her, but listen, if I can learn how to control my episodes just enough to when I'm with him, maybe when he falls asleep or take a nap, or maybe if I go in the bathroom and have a little episode saying I'm just taking a poop, I'm good. Come right back out, fix my hair, sit right on his lap and kiss him, and you never know. You know what I'm saying? But I think you probably actually got it built up to a point where you just couldn't hide it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to say that it's bad, because you have a good man who's willing to fight for you and stick it out for you.
Right.
Um, Not a lot of women get that type of opportunity or chance. Um, and I believe that's why a lot of kids are suffering.
Well, I mean, he's already stated it didn't start like that. It started with the fighting while like in the early stages of my pregnancy, and then of course we had a few good months, and then towards the end where I was like really big and uncomfortable and just I was over being pregnant at that time. That's when we started fighting more constantly. And then once I had my daughter, it seemed to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up having to take a break from the relationship and just like we had to go and live apart for a little while in order for me to go to therapy. And in that time I started school. He had just started a new job, so he was stressed out with his job, and we were trying to make the whole co-parent thing work while at the same time we were still fighting, and then we'd have good times, and then we ended up getting pregnant with our son when our daughter was 3 months old. So it was like it took a year of us going through that and then me going to therapy for me to be able to sit and talk to him without bursting out into tears or without having to raise my voice at him. Like, it took a hot minute for me to be able to sit there and be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling, and I'm feeling this right now. How long it's gonna last, I don't know. So until we separated and we stopped with the arguing every day and I was able to get help and medication, I wasn't able to have a relationship with my husband. I was still taking care of my daughter and going to school, but me and him were never like as cordial as we were before. Anytime we would talk beforehand, it was an argument. And after a while, especially getting pregnant with our son, I was just sick of it. So finally, when I got tired of my relationship being like that and me feeling the way I felt and I got help, that's what made our relationship get better.
Now, that's very telling. And I'm gonna switch it over to Mel. And you guys are doing really good. I hope you guys are enjoying that. Um, let me do a little commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying the interview that's being given here, not by just Lady Nesha, but also by her immaculate husband, Mel, please like the video, support the channel, and make sure you give a subscribe or hell, desubscribe, and fuck you. You guys already know this is BMT of the BMT Unfiltered coming at you again with another amazing interview only here on BMT. Now back to the show. So we're back. Now y'all said it, and I can honestly say I even made a fuck you trophy. I don't like to tell them that to their face, but it is what it is. Black people, a lot of y'all were born out of goddamn heat of the passion. Mommy and daddy were arguing, and y'all seen Baby Boy where I hate you, you hate me. You know what? Shit, let's just fuck and get it out of our system. And then poof, in comes Lady Nesha to doggone Daddy Mel. I'm pregnant. God damn it, woman. You said, nigga, I didn't say shit. You assumed. Here we go again, round 45. Luckily, they had time to actually sit, talk. Nisha's like, I'm going to go get help. I need to go get help. I can't do this alone. And Mel was like, maybe I just need to slow down. Because sometimes I get it, brothers. When you get your freedom, you're like, fuck her. I don't want to be around her no more. She's crazy. I'm going to go do me. But you didn't properly fix the first problem. until you hop on to the next thing. And that's very telling that I'm before I pass it on to Mel, that a lot of our brothers think that the women are just broken, but some of them can be fixed. You know, Nisha has help, and she has help from her mate, first of all. So I want to know, because with the outsource, with Nisha, you came from the matriarchy. You told us that majority of all the women in your house, or majority of all the women you from. And shout out to Super Mike, thank you for the donation, brother. Majority of all the women from your house are women. So I can only imagine what they probably told you. Not saying that they did. So I don't want to spark no fire. Please don't send Mama Nisha to me. But I'm pretty sure some of them say, fuck him. You know, you don't need him. Between dealing with the voices and also, you know what I'm saying, I'm not saying you're hearing voices, but you know what I'm saying, the anti postpartum, and also yourself and the relationship, how did you combat that? And I'm also asking Mel on his side, vice versa, how did he combat it for his side? You know what I'm saying? Because usually when people get a free pass, they take it and say, deuces, I'm out.
Well, honestly, I threw myself into school. So I ended up going, I guess you could call it trade school, to become a medical assistant.
Congratulations.
So I was doing that. I was doing work study. So I was working at my school also and taking care of my daughter. So instead of me, because a lot of my, how do I say this? Like, basically, the only time that I was really sitting and overthinking or overanalyzing me being a parent, my relationship not working, is when I was sitting at home just with me and my daughter, and like I wouldn't leave the house for days.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, you're just sitting there, you're thinking, you become a robot. So going to school, getting a job, and taking care of my daughter, and then going to therapy was like, okay, I'm up, I'm moving around, I'm not just staying in one spot. I can't focus on all my flaws that I feel like I have, because I have a million other things going on. Okay, Mel's coming to get Melanie. I need to make sure her bag is packed, make sure she has everything for the next whatever days. I have to make sure I finish my homework. I have a project ready. I have to get ready and go to work in the morning. I have to wash clothes. You know, like, I was able to get myself in the mindset of take care of house, take care of baby, and whatever it was I was focused on. So me going to school was what I did for me at the time. So that was me being like, okay, this is something I'm interested in. Let me do something for me. So I went back to school. Once school was over, I was like, okay, well, now I don't have an outlet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I ended up going, well, I started my YouTube channel. I started getting into makeup more than what I was. I did makeup, but I wasn't like, oh, let me watch YouTube videos or let me lurk on Instagram and see if I can create any of these looks. So doing makeup is what's helping me with my depression now. So Mel would be like, why don't you just go sit and play in some makeup while the baby's taking a nap? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So now I have a job. I work at a makeup store, and I love going to work. I don't care how tired I am, nothing. Like, the fact that I'm surrounded by something that I love, something that calms me, it calms my inner beast, you could say, it makes me happy. So even when I come home and I'm tired, I have no problems taking care of my babies. But when I was sitting at home all day and it was just me and the kids, I was like that for almost, a year and a half, 2 years?
2 years.
Just me and the kids. Me and the kids. I, like, you hear them in the background. I'm sorry, I just had to change a
No,
piece of diaper.
you good. Y'all parents. You're straight.
But when it was just me and them constantly, and then he would come home and he'd be tired from work. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't need them bothering him because he has to get up and go right back and do the same thing, rinse and repeat. So it was just like, when I was sitting at home, I stopped caring about myself, and it made my depression worse than what it was before. Like, I thought, okay, I'm getting over this because I had so much going on. But once all of that stopped, it was like, once I put the kids down to bed at night, sometimes I would go in the shower and I would just sit and cry. And I'm like, okay, I can't wake my husband up with this because he has to be up in a few hours for work. And I'm like, I'm not going to cry in front of my kids. Like, I can't do that. So I would go and sit in the shower and just cry. Like, I would cry everything out. And that was how I dealt with that. So I would say, like, if a woman is dealing with postpartum depression, honestly, her being cooped up in the house all day with the baby or the kids is the worst thing you could possibly do, because it just makes it worse. Like, I would sit there and be like, oh, one of their diapers exploded, and I would literally be like, I'm such a horrible mother because I couldn't change their diaper on time. Like, that's literally how I would feel about myself on a daily basis for 2 years. It was horrible. But yeah, babe, how'd you deal with me?
Long nights, a lot of long nights.
I see. I wanted to ask because I know we pushing this. Um, the love, is it still genuine? Like when you first met her, Mel. You know what I'm saying? You first met her, you got, or now that you got to know her, you're like, yeah, I'm in here for the kids.
More so deeper per se.
I agree.
Because like I said, I don't, nobody knows. My wife could have birth to my son. Uh, her uterus almost ruptured. So
Wow.
when you know when you see somebody's willing to go that far for you, it's different. It puts you in a place to where it's like, man, he would go this far for me. Why not? Be patient or do what even if it's just something that just about. Oh, I can deal with the kids. Okay, you win. I got him. I got him. Some people may look at it as you stepping down from being the man of the house, but I see it as being a problem solver. You know, just something small like that. Can mean a lot to them.
Right. Boy, I sure do tell y'all, and I know y'all only have an hour, but I definitely would like to get y'all back on if that's possible. You know what I'm saying? To sit down with y'all. Y'all two are two amazing young individuals who are doing amazing things, raising y'all children. I definitely would like to get y'all back on here if that's okay with y'all. So that way we can have more talks. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it'll be up to y'all. Um, but I definitely want to continue on having this talk. Um, so let's definitely try to set that up. Um, but you guys, if y'all did enjoy the show, if you did enjoy the content, please look up, and
Do your
look to
research.
do your research. Anything you want to say, Mel and Nisha, before we go?
Um, As far as me, I'm just like, whoever watches this, they're gonna take it how they want. Like you said, most people just try to make excuses for as to why black women are the way they are. Oh, she was an angry black woman. Her husband left her while she was pregnant, whatever the case is. It goes much deeper. And then you like as men thinking, oh, okay, she's gonna solve her shit. Like black women have to be strong enough. Like we're supposed to be y'all backbone, but we're not a strong enough backbone if we don't have support ourselves. Like we can't hold everybody up. And that's usually why black women won't get help. We won't get treated.
Right.
And it's because we have to stay strong for everybody. We're not allowed to cry in front of the kids. We don't cry in front of our husbands because we don't want to add stress to whatever they have going on. They're taking care of the house. But if you feel like you need help, then get help before it's too late. Get help before you harm yourself or worse, your child. Because they didn't ask to be here. That's right, huh? But yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys actually listened and you enjoyed the content.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say, Mel, before we ride out?
No, sir, I'm good.
I want you two to both know you two did an amazing job. Y'all two rocked the mic and killed it. I hope y'all did enjoy it and have fun on here. I really, really want y'all two to come back and do more talks, especially here on BMT. The main channel is going to be back up in a few more days. And all you niggas who doubted me, I promise you, I'm going to crush y'all. But I enjoyed being on here and actually getting to rock with y'all guys, especially with my bro and also his lovely wife here on BMT. So, no further ado, we'll see you guys later, especially here on BMT. I'm signing off with Nesha. Hopefully, her channel will be back up so we can showcase her channel again alongside with Mel. You guys, if you do have mental health, and yes, take it from me, I have PTSD, so I know it's real. Mental health. Nesha told y'all that from the female perspective. I'm telling y'all from the male, and men and Mel telling y'all from the supportive male. Get help. Get help. We'll probably do a talk about this again. I'll see if I can get some more females to sit down with Nesha to break bread with her. See you guys later. This is Joe from BMT, alongside with Nesha and Mel, signing off.